Organizing Library Helpers by Maria Carmona. Why are library helpers needed? Volunteers are needed when budget cuts include the elimination of the immediate aid and the librarian finds herself alone in the library with the same amount of work to be done. Volunteers can help the librarian give quality time to patrons with research questions and teachers needing assistance. Volunteers can help handle the circulation desk so that the librarian can tend to other things such as book processings and repairs. What are some of the jobs that these volunteers can do? They can shelf books, they can assist with processing books and audiovisual materials, they can set up book displays, they can be at the circulating desk, they can update bulletin boards, they can deliver materials, and they can perform basic assistance to the patrons. Volunteers can be senior citizens, they can be community volunteers, they can be students from the school. Before hiring volunteers, it is very important that the librarian write the job descriptions and expectations of the student aides and volunteers. This will help eliminate many problems. Once you have your volunteers, you need to train them. Volunteers need to go through a good 2-week training and a series of tests in order to make sure that they are able to handle the job. Training student, community, or senior volunteers can be time-consuming at first, but well worth it in the long run. Selecting student volunteers. These students need to be interested in the job first of all. They need to be highly recommended by teachers, and they need to have a good GPA. And they also need to pass a test after a 2-week training at least. Once it's selected, the student volunteers must retain a satisfactory grade average. The librarian needs to have a list of tasks for the student helper as soon as they come in to keep them busy while they are at the library. They will not be taken out of their academic courses to volunteer at the library. Rewarding student volunteers. In order to keep volunteers interested, they need to be rewarded in some way. It can be as simple as bookmarks, stickers, and paperbacks. It can be a small social with pizza and sodas or with baked goods such as cupcakes or a cake. Many students like to have first pick on new books purchased by the library. What are the benefits to the students? Students learn responsibility, leadership, pride, and a skill that they can use in the real world. They have a sense of ownership of the library since they take part in keeping the library organized, and they are able to learn social skills as they assist patrons in the library. Another group of volunteers that you could choose from are the baby boomers. The baby boomers are those people born between 1946 and 1954. Most are in their 60s and are probably retired. Since many are educated and are well traveled, they are a good source to tap into for help, and they could share their experiences and expertise with the students. Volunteers from the community. Volunteers can also come from the community members. Volunteers often make reading tutorial programs, after-school clubs, and books fairs possible. Keeping track of your volunteers. A visual calendar with volunteer schedules will help the librarian keep up with who's coming and going to the library. Even though many school libraries face budget cuts, causing them to lose their media aids, the librarians can still keep the library well organized and be able to sponsor programs through the help of volunteers who are recruited from the students at school, senior citizens, or community volunteers. This is my list of reference.